Welcome loves to my YouTube channel. My name is VassaOlga. In today's video, we're going to be doing makeup look that's going to make you look youthful and young. The one that I'm wearing right now. And I love this transformation because this is not heavy. It's not weighing me down. It's only showing the best features of my face and a best light. I hope so. If you're interested, please stay tuned. I'm going to explain everything in detail in this video. Let's get started. We're going to prep the skin with toner, Nivea aftershave lotion, and of course, on top of everything, we're doing sun cream. Okay, what you should keep in mind whenever you do any makeup look, that matte complexion, matte foundation, or matte result, they're always gonna age you a little bit more. The best way to achieve the healthy, glowy skin and youthful skin is to make sure that you're using as much dewy products as possible. I know if you're a little bit oily, this is not going to be the case because you are going to be needing a lot of powders on top of everything. But if you can do some powder and do more highlighters on top, and I'm going to show you how we're going to achieve this effect later in this video, then keep on doing, keep on going. I use my Makeup Revolution palette. This is contour palette, and I'm going to add a little bit of green and a little bit of purple to neutralize my foundation I'm going to be using later. This is tinted hydrator, and this is probably my favorite foundation to work with today because it's given a lot of glow and dewiness to my skin, but it is extremely orange. I'm not going to add my La Roche-Posay foundation because it's going to give me a lot of matte textures. I want to do just dewy foundation today because, well, we need youthful skin. But if you have oily skin, I would definitely recommend to use a ratio of 1 pump, maybe even half a pump of this La Roche-Posay with the same amount of tinted hydrator. Scrape off any colorful powders, the same color as this correctors, purple and green, and then add on top a little bit of Nivea aftershave lotion or any lightweight moisturizer. I'm blending out correctors all over my face with the foundation brush. We're going with my Wet n Wild tinted hydrator. And the oranges that we have here is going to be neutralized with the correctors on top. I'm going to use that much. And my recommendation is to go with a fluffy brush whenever you're creating makeup looks that are going to be sheer and soft. You need to cover a little bit of redness if you have some, but nothing else. We still want to make sure that the skin is picking through and it's just looking healthy and glowy. I'm going to use my Sephora Best Skin Ever concealer and add a little bit over my forehead and my chin. That's pretty much it. I don't really want to bring those to the sides because I think it's going to give too much coverage, too much product. And let's go with, again, fluffy brush to blend out this concealer. With L.A.Girl concealer, this is super lightweight concealer. I'm going underneath my eyes, and then I will use my fingers to blend this out. By the way, if you have a lot of blue undertone that you want to cover and hide from everyone, use this shade as a color corrector or maybe peachy shade to neutralize any blue underneath your eyes. I usually go with a contour on top of my face every single time I set my face, but today I think with this youthful foundation, it's always better to go with maybe this soft color. This is bronzer. You can tell it is a little bit warm undertone. It's not cool tone. If you have a little bit darker undertone or complexion is darker shade, you can always use different shades, but super similar to your complexion. You're going to make sure that it is not crazy. It's just given a little bit of the sun-kissed effect that we're aiming for. I'm going to grab the same brush that I used to do my foundation, and then I'm going to add tiniest bit on the side. You can tell this shade is almost like a blush. It's just a little bit like peachy or something, but I use it as my contour because I have super fair skin, and I'm patting and stamping this shade. And with any leftovers from your brush, I'm going on top of my bridge. This way, it's definitely going to create the sun-kissed effect. We're not going to create any contour today. We're focusing some leftovers. Maybe grab a little bit more if you don't have any leftovers. And just go lightly on top of the nose. Now we're going to go with my powder. I have loose powders, which are great, and I use them a lot. But in case of this soft transformation, I'm going with the press in powder. This one is from Catrice in my Angle Puff. I will grab some decent amount of this powder. I'm gonna press it around this T-zone area, underneath my eyes, and around my nose area, around your chin and your smiling lines. So this is the area, basically the center of your face, that you need to cover in powder. This area, we're not going to set with any product, maybe a little bit my jawline with any leftovers. I'm not going with the same amount of powders. Unfortunately, I don't really have any blush that is baby pink blush, and the softest shade I have is from Beauty Bay eyeshadow palette. You can use your blush, it's just, it doesn't really matter, but my blush is pretty intense. With the any youthfulness comes softness, and softness goes with really soft blush colors. I'm gonna bring this over the high points of my cheeks like that. We're gonna stop right here. You can go with the same brush that we used to transfer the blush, or you can use some angled brushes like that. It has some leftovers from my previous blush. I'm not really sure I want to add some crazy color to it. And maybe lightly brush underneath my eyes. And of course, last but not least, there's going to be a little bit of bronzer for my forehead, because still we need sun-kissed transformation. We have some color here over my cheeks, but nothing over forehead, and it's gonna look weird. I'm gonna use the same mix of colors that I always do. It's just some beige color with a mix of this color. I'm gonna tap it off, and I'm gonna bring this in the outer perimeter of my face, but do not bring this too close to the center part of your forehead. I'm going to use a combination of different highlighters, but you can go with any highlighter you have in your collection. I happen to have two of these. I'm going to go with my MUA Makeup Academy highlighter. This has some cool tone shimmer, and bring this on top of my blush over my cheekbones like that. Of course, my nose tip, my nose bridge. And now we're going with any leftovers over my forehead and a little bit in this area. You can tell it's just some leftovers. I'm not doing a lot of the product, but this way it's given some healthy glow that we were missing. Even with the dewy foundation, I still was missing some healthy glow. I'm gonna spritz my face with this Essence Keep It Perfect Fix and Spray Hydrating with hyaluronic acid, I guess. It's free from oil and alcohol. My favorite product. I'm finally out of Catrice and back with a favorite product. I love the spritzer. So good. And of course, I'm going finally with my wet beauty blender on top of everything, because we need to marry all of these products together, especially powders. And finally, I have my really pretty blushes from Cream Contour Palette, and I do a mix of both because this one is too bright, this one is probably too peachy, and I love a combination of both. You can tell we hit the pan quite a long period of time. And I'm going on top of these shades and contours and powders and everything with the same beauty blender. Look at this. So this side is really pretty, it's looking nice, but this side is so much better. And I'm going with the same highlighter, not the same highlighter, but the highlighter from the same eyeshadow palette. I'm going to bring this on top of my beauty blender and place it on top of my blush like this. Look at that, look at that. And finally, I have my Shattered Wet n Wild highlighter and place it on top of my wet formulas because they're not dry for now. They're still a little bit wet, and it's given the most beautiful reflection for the face. And it's so alive, it's so glowy, it's so pretty. Now I'm gonna do my brows. It's going to be super easy. Outline the natural shape of my brow, and I don't really want to create anything crazy. The color I'm using is Blonde 05. And then I want to fill in my brow with light hand. Now I'm gonna go with my Guerlain brow mascara. It's gonna look great on someone with blonde or light hair. NYX Professional Makeup. This is Brow Tint Pen. Lift and Snatch Brow Pencil. And I'm going to fill in spots where I have no hair at all. For youthful eye makeup look, you can use any eyeshadows, but it has to be soft, more or less soft. You can go with the same color as the blush, or maybe the same color as your bronzer, though it's gonna give you a little bit of warmth and maybe drag some attention to your eyes, which is pretty, but I don't really think it's gonna make you look more youthful. It's just gonna emphasize your eyes, and I don't know, maybe it's not really bad, but let's give you some option that is really gonna be easy to recreate for your makeup look, everyday makeup look. I have my eyeshadow palette. This is Summer in Saint-Tropez, and I love that it has a lot of different eyeshadows, specifically soft pink color and maybe this shade as well. Let's go with a soft pink. You can go with soft yellow, anything that has like this baby undertone, baby blue, baby pink, baby yellow, whatever you can call with a baby. It's going to be great. Well, choose one of the softest shades like this. It's almost invisible, and then blend this out with your fluffy brush. I'm using my Beauty Bay Big and Fluffy brush, the one that we used to create my blush. I have really pretty marina color, or maybe this shade. Grab a little bit with a finger, place it on top lightly, and I will go all over the lid up to my brow bone. Let's use the same highlighter that I used right in the beginning. You can go with your favorite highlighters that you have in your collection in the inner corner. By the way, you can leave your face with no eye makeup look. And I have a cool tone brown pencil. I want to use this brown pencil on top of my lash line. It's going to be thick line. I love adding a little bit of brown. I'm going to go with black eyeliner because it's not going to leave any marks. And I don't want to use a lot. Just going to be super, super close to my lash line. I want to do a thin line. You can carry on and add a little bit of a wing in the outer corner, as I did in my Asian makeup look, like that. I'm using two of my mascaras, Catrice and Essence, because I'm almost out of both of these options. And by the way, I think I'm going to add a little bit of soft pink for my lower lid. I'm going to explain, because every single time I use mascara and it has nothing underneath, like bare lid, it looks a little bit artificial and weird. Last but not least, believe it or not, I don't really like the step, but it's something that I should do in order to prevent any black marks from mascaras. I'm going to add a little bit of powder. This one is from Makeup Revolution. Let's go with the same fluffy brush. It's super handy for today's look. Tap it off and run this underneath my eye. We're not going to set this powder with the sun spray. I'm going to wipe it off in a couple of minutes when I'm done with my mascaras, because this way we're going to prevent any black marks from mascara. I have this black bullet lipstick. This is, if I'm mistaken, luster. I guess it's luster. And the color, it might look crazy. Okay, I totally understand this, but it's more like a lip balm. I'm not a huge fan of this lipstick. I've been having this for ages, but okay, let's put this on in the center of the lip. Get this all over the lips. And finally, I need my Essence Shine 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 Wet Look lip gloss. This one is from Essence, and this is my favorite, especially if you need some transformation as really soft and girly lipstick. Well guys, and this is the final result. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial, because this is super, super easy routine to recreate. I was just explaining some of the steps for information in case you're wondering why I picked this step instead of this one, or I chose this color over another one. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial, and I'm going to see you in my next video, hopefully. Bye bye.